Whether you believe in miracles or not, the story of Parker Grelecki from Georgia is certainly a beautiful example of one that may really be true. Little Parker's journey is, just as his dad describes it, a journey of unconditional love. Parker was born in 2008 with hydrocephalus, a condition which leads to an abnormal accumulation of fluid in the brain. For Parker, that meant that his brain made up only 5% of his skull, as compared to the 90 to 95% found in normal babies. Hospital staff warned his parents to prepare for the worst, but it soon became clear their little boy wasn't about to give up. Most parents have heard that saying and used it themselves. We don't care if it's a boy or girl, all we want is for the baby to be healthy. Sadly, not all parents have the luxury of raising a healthy child, just as Chrissy and Ryan Grelecki from Marietta, Georgia. In 2008, they were over the moon when they found out Chrissy was pregnant. But 20 weeks into the pregnancy, the parents received devastating news during one of the first ultrasounds. The nurse noticed how their unborn son Parker had a larger than normal head. She immediately understood that something was wrong and so called for assistance. Parker's situation was both serious and startling. All the doctors who examined his scans agreed. It turned out there was a blockage between the third and fourth ventricles of Parker's brain, one preventing the spinal fluid from draining. As a result, fluid was building up and squeezing Parker's brain matter against his skull. The condition apparently occurs in 2 of every 1,000 births in the US. When Chrissy and Ryan Grelecki received the news about their baby's abnormality, they were shocked and concerned. But they did what all parents should do. They stood by their unborn child unconditionally. Throughout my pregnancy, when I would let my thoughts spiral downward with thoughts of what if and just plain fear, God would remind me of a song. The lyrics that would play over and over in my head and fill me with His peace went like this: God will make a way when there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely by His side. With love and strength for each new day, God will make a way, Chrissy shared on her Facebook. Usually, a newborn baby has 90 to 95% brain matter and 5 to 10% fluid within the cranial cavity. When Parker was born in September 2008, he had over 98% fluid and just 2% brain matter. He was delivered via C-section at 39 weeks. Of course, Parker coming into the world was quite the chaotic event. His future looked uncertain and everyone was unsure if he would even survive, let alone what kind of life he would have ahead of him. Thankfully, he had fantastic support from his parents who loved their precious baby boy more than anything. And you, dear viewer, if you love this story, please give it a like. Let's see if we can reach 1,000. I was by his side the whole time, talking to him, praying over him, holding his hand, rubbing his head. That unconditional love just rushes over you. And here's this helpless baby that's been entrusted to me and I can't do anything for him, Ryan told. At just 2 days old, medical experts at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta started to drain the excess liquid from his skull and relieve the pressure. That in turn allowed Parker's brain to grow and develop naturally. After that, he began to undergo operations. Doctors performed craniofacial surgeries to correct his skull malformation, but they knew they were facing a heavy challenge. Our goal was to go in and re-expand the skull, open the skull up and separate those bones that had grown together. And that was basically what we did, getting the space for his brain to grow and grow normally, recalls Joseph Williams, MD, Chief of Plastic and Craniofacial Surgery at the hospital. 2 weeks later, Parker was able to go home. 4 weeks later, he began physical therapy. By the time Parker celebrated 20 months of life, he'd undergone 7 successful surgeries, and his recovery amazed everyone. According to mother Chrissy, it took Parker some time to sit and keep his head up, but eventually he prevailed. Parker also skipped the common crawling stage and began to walk right away instead. Parker's parents say they owe a lot to the Children's Hospital in Atlanta and its staff, who eventually felt like an extension of their own family. The staff at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta really took Parker to their hearts. Presenting our miracle child for the month of May, Parker Grelecki, aka Super Parpar the Rockstar. Parker's recovery is just one of many of the hospital's remarkable success stories, which is world famous for its rehabilitation program. Besides being part of the official therapy, Parker attended many activities to help with his muscle development. For example, he played tennis and took swimming lessons along with his siblings. Now, Parker, with glasses and a head full of golden hair, is almost unrecognizable from the day he was born. Looking at this wonderful boy today, he's far exceeded the expectations of virtually all medical experts. According to UGA Miracle, Parker excels at school. He should also have trouble interacting with others, but after meeting him for 2 minutes, it's apparent God has given him a very engaging personality, UGA writes. Despite being born with less than 2% brain matter, Parker Grelecki is a living miracle. As parents, we're beyond thankful to be Parker's parents and continue to watch him progress and live out the Lord's plans for him, Ryan and Chrissy Grelecki say. His proud mother describes him as a chatterbox and a loving child, and it's clear that he feels all the love around him, not only from his biological family but also from his family at the hospital. Parker's brother and sister, Chase and Emily, have also been great support. Growing up with a brother with special needs has made Chase and Emily advocate for those who may not get the respect they deserve. As parents, Chrissy and I have come to recognize that having 2 children born without complications is in fact a true miracle. Parker's story has created a family full of miracles, Ryan and Chrissy Grelecki said. In September 2022, Parker celebrated his 14th birthday. Even though he's been through many things that most people won't have to deal with in a lifetime, he has a lot of great years ahead of him. For a long time, Parker has dreamed of working as a sports commentator. That brain with 3 pounds of fluid and less than 2% brain matter is the same brain that today is so intelligent and can remember endless amounts of sports knowledge. Parker has also tried his dream job several times, and he's a natural talent. Sometimes he also helps out as an announcer for his local high school football team. According to witness reports, he's amazing at what he does, and Parker's excitement during the games is contagious. Of course, Parker has his struggles directly linked to the brain damage, but given what he has become, we think he's a true hero and a very inspiring person as well. I would be proud if I had only half of his gregarious and charismatic personality. He seems to be such a sweet boy, and his parents are truly amazing.